What's up guys? Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Jen. I'm gonna go ahead and consider myself more of a lifestyle vlogger, but I also do mommy content and, clean with me's, and I have a lot of things that have dogs in them. So if you guys are here for the animals, that's great. I'm all about animal stuff. But anyways, I assume you've clicked on this video because you are trying to get into influencing on Instagram specifically. I'm not so much on YouTube, as I've been on Instagram for so many years that I've actually grown quite a following for being a nobody, honestly. So I just wanted to sit down and make this video for more of the smaller influencers or the beginner influencers. Okay, so I actually have notes on my phone for this video. I decided to start planning out my content a little bit better. So bear with me. So let's get into the first thing. So the first thing I want to say is just a little bit of a briefing on being an influencer. I really hope that you guys do it in a positive way, and I really wanted to put this video right here because women are competitive, and in general social media is very competitive, and I feel like it is really hard to actually get true advice on this. I feel like people want to hide what kind of cameras they're using. People want to keep secrets from what they're using to edit and whatever else, they just don't want to talk about it for some reason. And I get it, it's very competitive to be out there, but at the same time, I've already worked with some brands and I don't have a very large following, and I honestly can say, like, it's not impossible to do this with so many other people out there. Like, you might think there's no time for you, and what's the point? There's already so many influencers out there. But honestly, I haven't had too many issues as far as working with certain brands and companies. And just stay true to yourself. Don't be a total sellout. I mean, there are times where money might be a little rough, and if this is your job, or you want it to be your job, you might have to pick a brand that you're not super big on. But there is, so I mean, I'm not like judging people for that or anything, but as far as like talking about it all the time and stuff, you want to be able to talk about brands that you actually want to use and that you actually like or are interested in trying. So just remember that and keep that in mind whenever I'm going through the list of things that you can do to start out as a brand influencer. Okay, so the first thing is, how do you take your photos? So you're going to either want to learn your own angles and good quality techniques, I guess you could say, but I don't think you need to rush out and hire a photographer for content posting. I don't think you need to have the best camera. Everyone's iPhones and cell phones these days are so fantastic that it's really this is sad for me to say because I do photography, but you guys can post some great content without having all the fancy stuff. And honestly, if you have like a vlogging camera, if you're someone who's doing YouTube also, you can use that as well. What I like to do if I'm setting up photos in my house is I like to just use my little ring light or use window lighting. Like right now I'm actually just using the lighting from the window because I like that it's a little bit orangey and makes my skin look a little better. But you can just go ahead and use whatever you have available, so that way you're not wasting a lot of money. And then maybe after a couple of years, if you start to make money and build up some contracts with some brands, then you can invest in a little bit of a nicer camera. But I will say it's actually easier just to use my mirrorless camera, my Canon that I'm using right now, or my G7 that I have, or my cell phone, and just set up a timer or whatever on my little tripod and take the photo. So that's actually easier than going out of my way using my DSLR and making sure that I'm in focus or whatever, or having to hire someone or ask my friend to take the photo for me on it. It's just way easier. So whenever you're reaching out to brands and you were interested, what I did honestly is I just went on Instagram and I looked up the brands that I knew personally that I would like to work with. So I tried to find brands that I've either used before and can like really vouch for them, or just companies that I know for sure I'd be into using. So what I did is I actually reached out to many brands and I sent out DMs, and then I started realizing that a lot of them were asking for a social media kit. So a social media kit is something where you can go on like Canva, or you can go on Photoshop even. You can try to make it on Paint or something like really cheap, like free on your computer, but it's a lot better if you use like Canva or something. And you basically, it's like a portfolio for you, and it's also going to be a breakdown of what you think you're worth for your posts. So a lot of times this also goes into them if you're a business account, which you're going to want to set up as typically so you can hashtag ad and everything like that. They're going to want to look at your reach and who's looking at your posts and how many people are actually viewing your stuff to really get that price figured out. But what I did is I just set up a set package for me. I have 10,000 followers on Instagram, and I basically decided to just say $120. You'll get up to 10 posts from me within 6 months, and I will post on my Instagram story once, and I will send you some professional photos. My husband and my best friend do photos, so that's easy, and I will send them that, and then I will also post one video mentioning on YouTube your product. So it's very affordable, and I've actually had brands want to do that, so I've actually gotten some deals with those brands, and they also send you their product. So it's really nice because you get free products as well, and it's pretty cool because it gives you that little bit of step to, you know, seem more professional when you have your media kit already set up. But you can also just reach out to them via direct message, or if you see that they have an email contact, you can go ahead and send out the email. There is so many different ways to word and express what you want to do. So I usually am just like, hey, I'm looking for more brands to work with, is how I started out. And then I just explain to them why I think I would work well with their brand, because they're not going to just pick you if they don't think that your people that are following you are going to actually care. And you can point out that, you know, you're a smaller account and you're just starting out, but you know that you'll be growing because you just have it in you to grow. You know, you can say some more motivational things to have them believe in you. So that is definitely something to do. But like I said, I would have the media kit on backup if they ask for it, or I would just go ahead and send it. So that leads me into my next topic, which is what kind of influencing you can do. So you can work with brands and be paid. Okay, I had to grab my daughter. So if you see a baby, she's in this sometimes. She's right here. Okay, so you can work with brands to get paid, which of course that would be like the dream, the goal. Or you can just work for brands in exchange of their product, which that's pretty cool too, especially for moms out there. I know that it is expensive when you're having a baby, so it basically is giving you product to try, but you're also in return talking about it for them, and it's really spreading the word. So they love doing product for posts. And then you can do a little mixture of both, of course. And so another way, without just reaching out to these brands, you can actually get in touch with other companies is by using other platforms other than YouTube and Instagram. There is an app called B-Roll, and it's kind of funny looking. It doesn't look legit at first, but then I actually used it and it actually came through for me. So you just make a profile on B-Roll, and I'll link this app down below. And you just apply basically to do campaigns for other companies, and they are paying campaigns. Sometimes it's just free product. It's really whatever you end up doing. And then there's the Intel Influence app, which again, it's actually a website, it's not an app. And that one is actually, it has brought me in a lot of money. And it is the one where if you go on my Instagram, if I have an ad on it, that's basically where those have come from. And that one is just the same thing, where you just set up a profile and then you reach out and you basically tell them why you want to work for their brand. And I always try to pick brands that I know will be like easy for me to do, and I know that I'll actually like be enjoying posting about things that I actually can talk about. And they usually send you the product also, but one of them was just a simple picture of talking about the Kohl's Black Friday sale, and they paid me like $50 to make that post. So that wasn't even a product, that was just an advertisement for Black Friday, and that was pretty cool and super easy. And I chose Kohl's out of all the brands that they offered, because there was like Macy's, Kohl's, and something else, because I actually shop at Kohl's, so I thought it'd be fair to, you know, use that. You're probably wondering how I know anything about this, and it's honestly just from doing research, talking to some friends that have done influencing or do influencing right now, and just honestly reaching out to other influencers in general on Instagram specifically. I just really think that it's interesting and cool. If you're wondering how I grew my following, well, if you scroll down maybe about 2 years, 3 years ago, you'll probably see how I got my following on Instagram. My posts were a little bit different than they are now. I've really switched over to doing more mommy related things on my Instagram. I definitely wasn't doing that at that time, so I did grow a little bit of following, and they've been following off also because they didn't like the change. I can definitely tell you that. So just prep yourself before you work for a brand. Look at what they want. Look at the videos that people have already made for them. Look at the content that they actually share. There's Earth Mama. I have a contract with Earth Mama, and that's the foundation that I use. It's not even foundation, it's tinted sunscreen, and it's thebalm.com. And I love having a contract with them because I love them so much. And I originally, before my first post, I went through their entire website, I read about the product, and I actually looked at what other people were posting and basically like mimicked what I could and what I felt like would fit in with me. So definitely do your research. So no, it's not all fun and games. Sometimes I think influencing and doing some influencing stuff is harder than my actual jobs that I have. Like I have 2 other jobs that I do. I'm a virtual assistant and a legal assistant, and I can tell you that sometimes the influencing gigs are a little bit more tedious to me. So it's not always that fun because you really have to do your research and you have to put quality time into whatever you're about to post, and you have to constantly be basically selling yourself to other brands and stuff if you want to push for it. So a lot of times that's why I like to do just the free product, because it's like a fun hobby that sometimes pays, but also I can get free things that I actually like. So that's really up to you. You can also do classes like Skillshare offers classes for photography and video editing and whatever, photo editing, and you can watch people like Peter McKinney, I believe is his name, or McKinnon, I forget now. I'll link his channel down below. He's like my go-to for Photoshop and Lightroom advice and photography advice in general. So I mean, definitely do your research, and don't forget to make sure you specify if you are the model, if you're gonna be using the product and modeling the product, or if you were just the photographer for the product, because that's something else that they would want to know, like what value are you to them and what are your skills and what are you planning on doing with their content. Just put all the details in and just don't give up. Honestly, if this is something you really want to do, don't give up. I literally have under 200 subscribers on YouTube, and I've been on here now since October posting pretty consistently, and it's just not growing very fast for me. So I am still continuing to do it and not giving up, because I do believe that I will be able to do this someday. I will gain more followers, or subscribers I mean. So I definitely am saying, like, push yourself, keep doing it. I hope that this was useful for you guys. I'm sorry that my baby crashed the video, but you gotta do what you gotta do and you're a stay-at-home mama. Yeah, she's clapping now. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please give this video a big thumbs up. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you have not already. I am going to be doing a camera review on my next sit-down video. It's going to be about the Canons that I have versus my DSLR versus using your phone for vlogging. So I know that a lot of you might be interested in that one as well if you're in the influencing world or about to be. So stay tuned for that. Bye guys.